What the servitors left us with sometimes is mysterious and unknown. A group of explorers found never-before-seen data during a wormhole expedition. What we discovered is a new piece of technology equipment, not yet finalized or something they still don't want us to know. I welcome you to the first Stars Reach Lab episode, where we showcase upcoming features, changes, concepts, and more. My name is Thomas, and today we are going to talk about the turret concept. Everything in this video is subject to change. Servitors are also watching us from remote galaxies, and they could change their minds at any moment. Turrets are a new piece of technology that will protect you against monsters, waves of enemies around your base, or boss fights. After some testing, we noticed that turrets could aim at other human and non-human species. It could be something related to PvP, but we don't need to worry about that for now. You will start seeing this new item probably after early access, and so a lot of details are yet to be finalized. Because it's a weapon type asset, development difficulties are nothing that scares us. However, we need to pay extra attention to the manual control mode, as there may be challenges with the interface. What is important to keep in mind is that even if turrets sound interesting and fun, it's mainly about strategic placement and timing. As someone may ask, no, having turrets around you is not something needed all the time. As many fights happen in wide areas, and considering their limited range, they could sometimes be useless. We discovered only one type of turret, but there may be more. Different rates of fire, shooting mechanics, direct versus area damage, and high or low range. Think, for example, of a mortar shot or grenade type machine. From their look, we can define them as deployables. There will be limits on how many you can deploy depending on skill progression. More advanced skill trees will unlock the possibility of having multiple active turrets at once, and in the future, the same skill trees could give you the option to research more types. Resources needed to craft one of them may vary depending on different factors related to the weapon mounted or player level. However, the materials needed may sometimes be lower than those used to craft a weapon. We recently spoke with Raf, asking for more information about this concept and which challenges or changes this asset will bring once implemented into the game. What he told us is a connection between turrets and camps, also known as the early stage approach.
So today we wanted to talk a little bit about camps and about the turrets that will be available for placing in them. Camps have been in the game for a while. As you know, players are exploring these wilderness worlds and gradually settling on them and building up their own homes and bases and towns. But before that happens, the planets are wild, and players explore them using camps. Camps are basically a way to set up like forward bases, temporary places that act as a location to heal up, to craft, and so on when a planet does not yet have facilities on it. And that means they need to be defended. Right now in the game, there are no ways to defend them except by standing around them yourself and shooting at them. They are not safe spaces. They don't make parts of the wild planet civilized or keep monsters away. You actually have to do that yourself by clearing away creatures. So setting up turrets as defenses around your camp is one way to do that. And it will be the primary passive defense for camps as players explore the wilderness. This idea of camps serving as a forward base will carry through into other parts of combat as well. There are combat specialties where players can build their own turrets as a combat engineer, set up areas almost like walls or minefield style defenses. And there are also combat professions that are meant to be more defensive in nature, like a heavy gunner with an emplacement. So turrets fit into that model of combat and that way of defending your territory, right? So they'll be part of a combat specialty, but meant to protect the people who are using the camps peacefully. Things like the crafting, the re-life center that you come back to if you die, and if you have saved your relife there at that location. So that's what the turrets are for. Eventually we expect to see them used in even more ways than that, because setting up a camp with turrets in order to take out a boss, for example, is a tactic that we're looking forward to seeing players using these different capabilities in order to come up with fresh styles of approaches to particular encounters.
What is the relation between PvE and PvP when using the stack items?
We're not planning on launching with PvP, but turrets obviously can serve a really important role with PvP later. The kind of thing that we'd like to do with PvP eventually is to have players joining factions and essentially controlling parts of the maps, essentially territory battle. And turrets and passive defenses are an important part of that, because you'd be able to do things like set turrets to automatically attack members of enemy factions. So they would help protect territory when you're offline and serve as a line of defense in that PvP battle. But, you know, we're trying to do things in order. PvP will come after we deal with getting PvE up to a great level first.
For how long will a turret last? What about ammunition?
Turrets won't last forever. Like everything else in our game, we want economic turnover so that people who are capable of making things and crafting things always have a market. So things do end up needing repair, they do end up breaking over time, and you'll have to go back to the person who created the turret for maintenance or to get a new one, because eventually they will break on you. But they are designed for somewhat asynchronous play, so they won't be super short duration. They're something that is meant to last for a little bit.
Do we know more about turret types?
We're going to start out with one turret type, and then because we have a whole variety of attack types that that are in the game, not just different damage types, but indirect fire, things that launch mortar or grenade style attacks versus bolts versus beams. Over time, we're going to be able to build out more turret types that have different sorts of behaviors and different sorts of defenses. But we'll probably start with just one, test it out really well, make sure the system works well. And we'll do that first.
Again, everything shown and discussed during this video is subject to change. We welcome you to share your feedback and ideas, as you will help us shape the future of the game. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next discovery.